This is Chris with Dive Zone Scuba for another technical diving tips, techniques, and trips video. Hello divers, thanks for joining me today. If you find this content helpful and educational, please subscribe. In video 113, we discussed the important issue of diver trim and how you will need to compensate for the gas used in your tank. In this video, we're going to discuss the concept of the balanced rig. The balanced rig has nothing to do with the positioning of your weight to balance your trim. It does, however, have everything to do with the amount of weight that you need to descend and the amount of weight that you need to ascend and safely conduct your safety stop or decompression stops. In video 112, we discussed how to determine how much weight you need to do this. With the balanced rig concept, we are not only interested in finding out how much weight you need, but also whether or not you can swim back to the surface in the case of an emergency, such as a complete wing failure. At the beginning of a dive, when you have the maximum amount of weight of gas in your tanks. If you can safely swim to the surface, then congratulations, you have a balanced rig. However, if you cannot safely swim to the surface, you have an unbalanced rig. In this case, you must have a mechanism to discard weights, or have a means of a backup buoyancy, such as a redundant bladder. Most balanced rigs use aluminum tanks, and it is also possible to achieve a balanced rig with some low-pressure steel tanks. It is less likely, but it is still possible to achieve a balanced rig with high-pressure steel tanks. Even though you may use a wing with a redundant bladder, it is still a good idea to test your rig to see if you have a balanced rig in a non-emergency situation. And while you're at it, you should also check your redundant bladder to make sure you can deploy that properly in the event of an emergency situation. In summary, if you have too little weight, you will not be able to maintain your safety or decompression stop. On the other hand, if you have too much weight, you can't ascend without dropping weights or having additional buoyancy. With the balanced rig, you have enough weight to maintain your safety or decompression stop, but you do not have too much weight so that you cannot ascend without dropping weights or having additional buoyancy. Unfortunately, some configurations are such that you will never achieve a balanced rig, and in the event of a primary bladder failure, you will either have to drop weights or have additional buoyancy, possibly in the form of a redundant bladder. This is Chris with Dive Zone Scuba. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.